All right. Okay, so today we are testing Zoom events. Is it this camera? Is it this camera? Is this camera? Yes. Today we are testing Zoom events, and I'm testing a special part of Zoom events. We're gonna live stream to YouTube just for the heck of it, for those of you who kind of just want to watch and see. And we're doing Zoom events with a multi-track Zoom event. So we're getting ready for the StreamGeeks Summit in just a couple days. So we're going to give it a shot. Here we go. So you guys, the event hasn't started yet. It's going to start in a tiny bit. But the cool thing is, everyone is familiar with Zoom here. Basically, there's this lobby. And so I'm going to click that Join Lobby button. What it's going to do is it opens up a Zoom event with a countdown. You can see there's 8 minutes left, so I just want to say hi. Looks like there's 20 people. We are live. We are live streaming this to YouTube as well as part of our test. So I think a couple people are going to join. You guys can join too if you so choose, if you guys want to join as well. You certainly can. But this will be a good chance for us to check out Zoom events, see what it's like, and make sure it works for us. So what I'm going to do, so basically there's two events happening at the same time, and that's kind of what we're trying to test here, is what is it like to have a multi-track event? You can see here we've got 2 sessions overlapping a little bit. So that's what we're kind of testing. I've never done this before. We're going to have 2 events happening at the exact same time. And if anybody wants to see like behind the scenes, how this was all set up, it's kind of cool. There's like a sessions tab there so we can look at the different sessions that are going on. There's an itinerary. Looks like the itinerary doesn't have anything on it. Maybe I'll set that up. But, so the sessions, it looks like if you bookmark a session, does it go on your itinerary? Yeah, it's kind of cool. A little built-in itinerary. This is all new to me, but we're playing around with Zoom events because on Wednesday, December 15th, we will be hosting the StreamGeeks Summit. Hi, Peter. Good to have you. Let me see here if I can show this. What was I going to show? So the StreamGeeks.us, and basically the StreamGeeks Summit is December 15th. So this is going to be a cool event. Got some special surprises for this event as well. We're going to have some live entertainment. I'm a big fan of DJ Adam Worth, so we'll have him there. And then we got some really smart people who are going to be presenting about streaming, networking, remote production, studio setup, and then our big favorite friend, our keynote speaker, Loria Petrucci, is going to be giving a cool keynote that day as well. So it's going to be fun. Some great sponsors. And the way we're setting this up is we're allowing the sponsors to do like a round robin presentation in this round robin sponsor event here. So that's kind of the start to this. There'll be a round robin, and I'm going to start that meeting in just a second here. It's supposed to start in 6 minutes, but I'm going to start it early. And then what the hope is that we can run 2 meetings at once. So this one's got a little countdown timer saying it starts in 5 minutes. This one's got a little countdown timer saying it starts in 20 minutes. And I don't know how many people know how to use Zoom events yet. You can see here that there's like a little, let me see if I can we'll zoom this out a little bit to the Zoom event. There's like a lobby. So I don't know if anyone knows how to do this because supposedly it's kind of looks like there's 20 people here. There's still time to register too if you're watching on YouTube and you want to check out the Zoom side of this. That is how it works. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Join the lobby. Okay. Multi-track Zoom event session test 5 minutes. Here we go. Start. So it says You're joining a sponsor session. You agree to provide that sponsor your contact information and to any sponsor giveaway rules found in the sponsor section. Let's take a look at that. That goes nowhere. Okay. I guess that's because I don't have a sponsor section. All right. I agree. Don't show me that again. There's Tess. Hi, Tess. All right. So now we're in here, and I'm getting a crazy window. So what I'm going to do is switch my camera. Oh. I know why that's not showing up. Let me see if I can fix that. See if I can get a different camera angle. I'm going to have some different camera angles here, hopefully. All these video feeds are all caught up in my vMix session. So let's see, 0, 1, -1, 0, 1, -1. Come on. Hi, Tess. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Nice to have you here in our test. So we don't need to take a whole lot of time in doing this test. I just wanted to make sure. We are live streaming, by the way, because that was part of the test, too.
Okay. The lobby looked cool, and I saw this session appear.
Good.
There was the chat in the lobby. Hopefully people will take some time on the lobby to see like, oh, okay. Because I kind of wish I didn't join so soon. How could I get back to the lobby? Oh, here it is. Okay,
Like
so you can have the lobby open and a session open. Yeah. This is cool. Itinerary, featured sessions, and a countdown. Hey, Will.
Here's Will. Hi, Will. Can't seem to get like a single video that works for me of all my webcams, but whatever.
My webcam's kaput. I need a new one.
It's all right.
But I've had it for years, so it's time.
So one thing I'm going to do off the bat, Tess, unless you want to do this, is I'm going to create the breakout rooms.
Okay. Let's see what my permissions are.
So breakout rooms are rooms that we, for the StreamGeeks Summit, we plan to use basically to give people like smaller group sessions to talk, to chit chat in and stuff like that.
Sessions may be streamed to the lobby. Everyone in the lobby can watch these sessions.
Oh, that's cool. I forgot about that. Where does it say that? Oh, yeah,
it was just a little, since my first time, I think.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, and when you guys, you can actually hear everything too. You don't have to come out of the lobby, it seemed like, because I was watching Paul's. It just said Paul Richards, and then when you came on tests, it showed you.
That's kind of nice.
Cool. I see the calendar, the itinerary feature.
No, unplug my webcam, plug it back in. I can't seem to get this webcam to work here.
Hey, my administrative assistant is loving the one that she won at the last StreamGeeks. So for the Volunteer of the Year stuff, she's absolutely loving it.
That's great to hear.
I remember that. Pretzel, what are you doing? I created rooms.
Oh, good. Okay. Can you name them? Because that's important to this.
I named test room 1, test room 2, test room 3.
You did that. Okay, good. And it looks like did you automatically send Will to that room?
I automatically assign them, but I believe that it offers them the option to join or not.
Yeah, I don't think you have to do that next time.
So do you want it to be allow them to pick their own room?
Yeah.
I thought for the summit we were going to randomly disperse them.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have a sponsor round robin where the sponsors get to present one after the other, for 1 minute each, okay?
Okay.
And then there's going to be a whole bunch of breakout rooms, and people can choose which one they want to go into.
Okay.
So I'm going to close all the rooms real quick. Okay. Recreate. Okay. So when you did that test, there's a signed manual. There's one that says let participants choose room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 8 of those, and I'm going to rename them all. And just for the heck of it, we're going to do it, just be like Simply Nook and all the sponsors. So Epiphan. And then there's another one. What's another one, Tess? Tell me the live view.
Media Looks, Live View, Easy Live, Netgear.
Netgear. Okay. Are there any more?
Telestream Wirecast.
Okay.
PDC Optics.
PDC Optics. That's enough for now.
Epiphan. Did you have
Epiphan?
Yeah,
No, I forgot Epiphan. Okay, or I did. Actually, I got Epiphan twice now. Whatever. Okay. So now I'm going to open all rooms. Okay. Now, when you guys go to breakout rooms, you should see all the correct rooms, right?
Yep.
So that's the point there, is that during this one, it's self-select. Okay. And then, Tess, do you have the ability to broadcast a message to everybody?
Yes, I do.
So, like, we'll just use that to be like, hey, guys, we're closing the room soon. But honestly, the point of this, too, by the way, is to have multi-track. So we are going to, let's just test all going into one of these, and then we'll all come out. How about we all meet up in the Simply Nook breakout room just for the heck of it?
No, what I'm noticing too, Paul, is like I'm on a laptop with one screen. Your event lobby is still there, and there are 21 people in there, but only the 5 of us in here. So people are still monitoring out there, and you can still text back and forth there too, it looks like.
That's kind of nice, I guess, if that's what they want to do. I don't know if that's 20. It does look like there's 21 people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I see there's closed captioning. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, like I'm going to say, just for the giggles and grins. Yeah, I'm typing over there.
Yeah, I find it actually just a tad bit confusing because I'm not used to having two windows for one meeting.
Yeah, it's like there's a second lobby. And I don't know, I don't remember enabling that, so I think it's just a new feature. Anyone in the lobby can see the current session in progress. I'll be interested to see what that looks like when we go into a breakout room.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed, since it's a little time delayed in the lobby with the closed captioning, if you turn the sound on there, then you've got audio coming from 2 places. And if you don't see both windows, I've got 2 monitors. But if you don't see both windows, then if you're not used to that, it's like, how do I manage this? Where's that other sound? Where's that echo, that 1 second late echo coming from?
That's a good point. I want, was it muted by default?
It was muted by default. And I was in the lobby. I could hear it from looks like a traditional Zoom window. But I was in the lobby, and I could hear the sound, but it was way, way out of sync. So I just clicked on the speaker and then realized I've got two audio feeds, or actually turns out 2 video feeds. So I don't know, just poked around, looked under Windows, and found actually 3. I've got 3 windows here, but I think only 2 are your meeting. Yeah, one is the admin window.
So one of the things I wanted to test was the ability to go into these breakout rooms and self-select. So I was thinking we could all kind of meet up in one of these breakout rooms, make sure that works smoothly. And then the other thing I wanted to test today was the ability to have 2 sessions running at the same time, so that this meeting in the breakout rooms can be dedicated to the sponsors in the round robin, having its own segment in place, and then simultaneously at a certain point, without having to cut this meeting off, a second meeting will be available for people to drop out of this one and go into the other one, which is, Tess, we're going to use to have the breakout rooms, but those ones will be automatically assigned randomly to allow people to get into small groups and network. So you guys want to try that? You want to go to the Epiphan room since George is here?
Sure.
Why not?
Here.
Sure.
All right, cool. Let's give it a go. All right, here we go. Join.
I'm actually
Okay, we're joining the Epiphan room.
Hey,
And my camera works.
Here we
now.
are.
Hey, guys.
Hey, camera works this time, Paul.
I had a feeling I just had to open and close Zoom and my webcams would free up. I had them all locked in vMix.
We made it.
All right.
Just so you know, I had a problem getting into the lobby. I got an error message. I took a picture of it, but it wouldn't let me in the lobby. And then I went back and it said join session, and that's how I got in.
What operating system are you using, Brent?
I'm on a Mac.
You're on a Mac. This is kind of funny. In the lobby, you can see Dean is just all alone in the main room. Oh, you're here now, Dean.
Pretty typical.
one thing that was nice that
Oh.
I did like is, let's say, like Paul, you say, hey, we're going over here. Find me. It actually popped up with who was in the room.
Oh, that's nice. That's good to know. So we could kind of, I mean, as a administrator, I can actually move people around if I so wanted to. I could just
And it does show you who's in the breakouts. If you click on breakouts and say choose breakout room, it will show you who's in where.
Yeah, it'll show you all the breakouts and who's in where. I do kind of like this lobby piece. One of the things, obviously, that we've talked a lot about when we've just, not even necessarily anything to do with Epiphan, but just in general talking about virtual events. The first layer is defining what that means to you, and that's always like, where your audience is, and are they actually live participant audience, or are they just passive consumer audience, right? Like, kind of defining what that is. And this first layer lobby piece is pretty much perfect for that more passive consumer piece. And then if you need to dive deeper, you can. I didn't encounter any errors joining the lobby or joining the session. Everything
Looks like, though, you may want to put some kind of extra feed in there where it says in breakout sessions or something, because right now that lobby just has a black screen now that Brent's back in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in a note. I'm gonna make some notes and send that to Zoom, because it's not in beta, but it's brand new, and there's obviously a few small things here that need to be.
We could designate a moderator to stay in the main Zoom call for that reason.
Or at
Yeah,
least
maybe
bring
they
up,
do that on purpose.
Or,
Sorry, Dean.
or a second computer sharing a screen that says, hey, we're in breakouts.
with instructions to go to the breakouts.
Yeah.
So we've used just a message pre-record and just run it on loop.
That's a good
Good
idea. All right, I'm gonna write that down. Instructions to go to breakout rooms when the round robin is done. Because it makes sense. Because how is Zoom gonna know which breakout room to show in the lobby? They're just showing the main meeting.
Well, that's what I was curious about. Was that when you join the lobby, it says, that you're now streaming a particular session, and I don't know how you control that, but obviously, if you can change that to something else on the fly, then it's not hard. I suppose you can tune into different sessions, but I haven't played with this too much yet.
Yeah, I had that same question, because in a moment here, the thing I wanted to test was having 2 meetings running simultaneously. And then I wonder if you can switch between which one you view from the lobby.
Yeah, because there's only one active, so it doesn't show that there's any way to do it, just the in progress one. But
I just went to another breakout. It works fine.
Oh, good. It looks like it's nice if you have like lots of sessions because they've got these little, you can build an itinerary up.
Yeah, you can bookmark what you're interested in.
So that's pretty good. So I guess what we could do is leave this room, go back to the main room, and then try to have 2 meetings running simultaneously was the other thing. I'll bring Eric just joined. I'll bring him in here, but I guess we're leaving anyway.
So Paul, why do you want 2 meetings simultaneously? Why wouldn't you want one meeting with some of them being sponsor round robins and some of them being small groups? Why have 2 meetings?
Well, that's a good point. My thought is that you do the round robin, and then people can switch between all of the sponsor rooms, and we give it its own segment so it's not competing against anything. But then at a certain point, it's like, well, now we're going to do networking, but I don't want to cut off any lingering conversations that are going on in the first round robin. And so as opposed to cutting off that, and the other reason too, Gene, why in my mind is that in the networking session, we want to randomize the breakout rooms. And I believe the only way to do that in Zoom is to just take everybody and be like, we're going to create 12 rooms with 10 people each. And it just randomly reshuffles everybody. And I don't want to shuffle the deck when people have already self-selected specific breakout rooms.
Okay. Sounds complicated.
Can you still, with this being the chosen breakout rooms, can you go back out to the main lobby as an admin and say, okay, wrap up conversation, breakouts are going to end in 3 minutes?
We can.
That way, then you can go back out, delete the breakout rooms, and then create the new ones. I don't know how hard it is. I've never done breakouts, so.
We certainly can. I'll just do a test real quick. So I don't know. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you can send announcements to all rooms.
But the thing was, is like I don't really want to stop a conversation happening with a sponsor. I don't want to be that guy being like, you guys all have to stop now. I'd rather just let it go, keep going for hours on end. I don't care. But we do have something else coming down the pipeline, and we're going to go for it.
It's like a breakout in any other large group conference. It's known that they're going to end at 12 o'clock. So now we all got to go mosey back off to the main conference room and move on from there. Because if we want to talk, like if I want to talk to Dean, just because he's on my screen, I'll send Dean a message with my email, phone number. Hey, can we talk some more later?
Well, and you don't have to say the breakout rooms are closing. You just need to say, hey, session such and such is starting, and let people, hang if they want to hang in the current breakout. I think and maybe this is a test for you, Paul. Maybe you know or don't know, but are you planning on running 2 meetings and each of them having breakout rooms at the same time?
Yeah.
And we'll Zoom that. And can you manage them independently? Which bucket do I end up in, and how do I get announcements? Is it truly 2 independent meetings and an announcement in the first one only goes to the breakout rooms in that first one, and similarly second to second?
Yeah, that's my understanding. And I should really create like a diagram so we can try to make that clear, because we're running 2 meetings simultaneously.
Wait, why are we doing that? Because we only have one Zoom event.
Yeah, it's because it's a multi-track Zoom event. So there's 2 tracks.
Oh.
And the reason why is because, yes, you can have breakout rooms in one, you can have breakout rooms in the other. But the first one, the breakout rooms are self-selected, so you get to choose, which sponsor you want to talk to. And we could, Dean, you're right, have 1 meeting. We do the round robin. We do the breakout rooms. It's self-select. And then we just tell everybody, all right, guys, this time's over. Everybody come back to the main meeting, close all the rooms, then do the random shuffling. But because we have this Zoom events platform, and you can supposedly run 2 meetings simultaneously, which is what we're going to test in a second here, I thought, why not Just let these rooms stay open. People get into one, they're comfortable, they're having an engaging conversation. Why don't we, but maybe they're doing networking already. They don't want to get shuffled, do this other networking thing that we're doing. And it isn't kind of a new experience, which is kind of what StreamGeeks is about. Like, let's test this out and make it different and try something that maybe isn't as practical as a normal thing would be.
Right.
But let's see. So, I mean, if you guys are okay with it, we'll leave this room.
Hey, Paul.
Yes. Hi, Joe.
But before we leave, have you considered creating a third track? Early on in the pandemic, we were using a separate Zoom meeting for the hallway. And so to ameliorate some of that or allow people another interaction opportunity, we actually just had somebody manning a hallway. And if two people wanted to have a private chat, they got sent to their own break room in that third track, and it just stayed open for most of a conference. It's just something to consider.
So those breakout rooms in the hallway have to be created by an administrator, though, right?
Yeah, the way we did it, yeah. But I mean, in this case, what Paul could do, if he created a third track and a third, event session, however you want to say that, as long as he allows anyone to enter their own breakout room, people could go in and just join a breakout room together and keep going. So, I don't know.
Interesting. No, I would be, I mean, this is all about testing. So I think we should just do it. It does require another person to be in there all the time. But honestly, if it was just an open meeting room for people to go to, I mean, maybe we should just have a timeout room and Tess can just put people in timeout. I'm just kidding.
Well, or the other thing you could do, and I like that idea of the hallway, but you could have, hallway table as breakout rooms under hallway. You could have table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, corner 1, corner 2, and people just, they kind of pop in there. If there's other people, they go to another corner and so on, and kind of figure it out themselves. And then you wouldn't have to administrate it.
Yeah.
You'd want to have some sort of a message, maybe static or spinning around that, explains how to use the hallway. But that way you'd save, you put the burden on the people that want to go break out. And if Joe and I want to go talk, we'll say, let's meet at table 2.
I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, that's the self-select method. Hi, RJ. Thanks for joining. The other, idea for the networking portion, which I was hoping a lot of people would participate in, is to do the randomness, where 12 random groups of 10 or whatever we decide, and then everybody comes back to the main group and shares their best takeaway. And that's a process I've done at conferences. It's called like a World Cafe, where it's like everyone breaks into small groups, but then everybody comes back to the big group and shares their insights. So that's what I was trying to do with like the last hour. But I don't think there's anything wrong with having a third track that's a hallway, that anybody can just direct message RJ and just say, hey, RJ, it's been a while. Let's go into the hallway.
Yeah, I mean, because that does two things. One, you can leave that open past the main conference, right, for an hour or 2 hours or whatever. But number two, it does provide you with some optionality, because what we found at conferences, virtual conferences, people will just stay in the room as long as you leave it open. Whether one party wants to or not, they feel obligated. So if you do some hard cutoff 10 minutes past the scheduled cutoff time, somebody can go, hey, they're shutting the room down. It was great chatting with you, whatever. Or, hey, I'm really enjoying this conversation. Let's go to one of those hallway breakouts.
Yeah, I like it. And that goes into the idea of running multiple meetings at the same time, which I've never done before. This is my first time ever. So I'd like to try it. So I think we should do, the other meeting room is open. Do you guys want to try to see if we can get to a second track?
Sure.
See how it goes? All right, RJ, we're going to switch tracks. I don't know if he has his audio connected.
So we're switching to the small group collaboration and network track.
Yeah.
Which on mine says it begins soon.
Okay.
Oh, because it hasn't been started. I got to get over there and start it. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so then it goes to small group networking start. So I'm going to start the second track. All right, so now this is the second track. And just for the heck of it, I wanted to see. So this is still...
You made it first.
Yay, good job, Tess. This looks
I'm
like it's
still
going to
a
be
little
easy.
confused, but
I was a tiny bit worried, but I was like, hey, it's Zoom. Like, we know how to do this. It's going to be okay.
yeah. We'll just be moving together, right? During the thing, like, okay, we're all starting on track 1. And then in there, we'll be like, all right, we're all going to track 2.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think we'll broadcast a message out that says, hey, everybody, you know, the networking room is now going to be open, but don't feel like you have to leave a good conversation that's happening in these round robin meetings.
Have 2 at once.
Yes. We can have 2 at once. The thing I'm seeing though is that the lobby is still broadcasting the sponsor round robin. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because it's the featured one. But that's not really a huge problem.
When I joined this session, there was a notice that's saying that this was being live streamed to the lobby, but you're right, it doesn't show it. Where does it? No, it does.
I did see that too.
There's
It
2
does?
different thumbnails actually.
Oh,
of
I
the
see.
lobby
And
now.
you can click.
And I could choose
Oh.
which one. Yeah, so it would show all of the different ones. If there's concurrent ones, it would show them all, and you can choose. So
That's
there's
pretty
that question
cool.
about why would you want to run concurrent sessions? I mean, obviously for people to choose your own adventure, but that's actually really easy for them to pick.
Nice. I like that.
And when we go and set up Wednesday's event, Paul, we can put more details in each of these sessions, like explanation of what to do
Mm-hmm.
and the sponsors that will be in each.
Yeah, we can
And
even
Paul,
put
I know you
pictures of
jumped over.
sponsors.
I'm sorry. Paul, you jumped over as an administrator to start the second session, but the experience that I got, I clicked on join in the lobby, and also notice my camera gets screwed up every time I change too. But I clicked on join in the lobby, and the behavior I got from Zoom was as if I was going to a new meeting. So it said, do you want to leave this meeting, go to another meeting? So conceptually, again, for those of us administrators, I see this event as just an umbrella over a lot of independent Zoom meetings. So that might help us as we're thinking through this.
And I don't think there's a limit to how many tracks you can have.
Would it be better to have, if you wanted to have your sponsors on their own track, that way they're sitting there, Tess is running one for you guys and she's sitting in there as the administrator of that room, and everybody else, that way we could go join the meeting and whatnot. Then someone could pop in and say, hey, it's 1 o'clock, we're moving over to this track now, instead of breakout rooms. That way, I don't know if that would work.
It's possible. I mean, it's kind of like we want to make it as the least confusing option for people because it is so new.
Yeah.
I like the multiple sessions because as those sessions run simultaneously, you get the preview in the lobby. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that is good. Like you could even have like a picture of a hallway, like, I guess, and people would see that and be like, oh, look, there's people in there.
I think we should have a moderator in each. We can facilitate that.
I
This
wish
way,
I
if
could
anybody's
send you
lost.
pictures. I'm sorry. I wish I could send you pictures because there is no lobby on the Zoom app. But I get this on the website. It says join lobby, and when I click that, it says you can't. But then below it, it says skip and join in progress session. When I first joined, there was only 1 session. Now there's 2. So there's the round robin and the small group collaboration. So now I can click and join each session, but it's not really a lobby. It's actually on my browser.
Yeah, the lobby only seems to work on Windows and
Okay, there you go.
Oh.
and that was my main issue with launching the very first one. I was on a Chromebook. I figured, hey, it's just a test. Just launch the Zoom meeting, and Zoom events doesn't work on Chrome. I noticed, like a Chromebook.
It does work if you fiddle around with it. Like, you know, you say join lobby and it says you can't. Well, now it's there.
Yeah, there are some known issues for Chromebooks. We had an event early on and someone tried to moderate from a Chromebook and then couldn't figure out how to log out. So they closed sessions for other participants.
Yeah, it was specifically the host feature that you couldn't access on the Chromebook. Like he couldn't start the event.
I'm pretty happy with this overall. I mean, I didn't look at any of the other options. I didn't look at Hopin and the other virtual event options. I was just like, let's just go with Zoom. Everyone knows how it works. It's very, you know, I already have my software set up to work with Zoom. It's not, I don't want to completely change the playbook. Maybe we should in the future. But I think this is pretty good.
So Paul, on your feedback list, I just experimented popping over to the round robin when you were talking here to figure out how those thumbnails work. And two things that, again, from the user interface perspective, I didn't realize there are thumbnails over there because when we're all in one room, the other one is black. I didn't know you could toggle, but they need labels as to what the session is. Yeah. So, you know, it tells you what the current one is, but it doesn't tell you what each of the thumbnails are.
The preview thumbnails.
Right. So seeing a talking head is interesting, but it's good to know what the session is.
Yeah, that's a good point. And what was the other thing?
Really,
I kind of forgot.
A label over the entire column of thumbnails of other sessions or something. It tells you why you would have 1, 2 pictures.
When you click on them to change it, the banner at the bottom changes, but you actually have to click it to see that banner change. So it's not super intuitive unless you just click a whole bunch.
And you know, the interesting thing about that is going back to my comment about getting 2 audios, because I actually have I don't know, another meetup kind of running over in the corner of my room here. I could actually monitor 2 sessions. So that's kind of cool. You can get a little bit of audio from both and maybe jump down, and I have the ability to change the audio in different places. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that is kind of cool.
Sometimes you only want to see the slides. You don't really care about the words. You're just looking for when's that good time that I want to jump in.
Yeah, and especially with some of these events that have like 5 or 6 or 10 sessions going on at the same time, you can just pop in, preview them all.
I would tell you, if you guys are low on moderators, well, for this one, I can help. I'm glad to help. But normally, so I have 6 monitors on my desk. And so I actually run 3 separate Mac Minis. And repeat one. It was a Pocket 4K. Now I have the Pro, but I repeat it to 3 different ATEMs and send one into each feed. So I only have to mic up and all once. But that's another great way to actually moderate 3 sessions. You just turn your camera and audio off for each individual device with a Stream Deck or something, and you can listen. Gosh. You know, you're listening in the left ear for one, the right ear for another, and then you have some speakers or whatever for the 3rd session if you're on 3. Beyond that, it's a mind mesh. Don't try more than 3.
Yeah.
Also note, Paul, that in the lobby I can see that it looks like there's 25 participants total that are at least in the lobby. So we might have some passive viewers right now just in the lobby.
Yeah, that's interesting because, you know, my thought was like the YouTube live stream would be the passive viewer space. But yeah, I see that. I see what you're talking about. That's interesting. It gives Zoom a new aspect of passive viewing that I never thought of before.
Which is really what they've been missing, right? It's people end up using a different platform, which, you know, if you end up streaming on YouTube, then what's the point of even selling tickets through the Zoom event thing, right? Like it's kind of, you need a method for those passive viewers to sell a ticket. So this makes sense. And you know, the only other reason to do a YouTube stream is just as a backup in case something goes sideways.
Yeah.
So
some people just don't want to feel pressured to chat.
And do you, as administrators, are you able to see who the participants are in the lobby? like we
don't
can do in
think
one of these
so.
regular meetings?
But I have noticed that the number's changing. So it's not, at first I was like, oh, maybe that's how many people registered, but the number's been going up and down and stuff. So
That's what I thought at first.
it does seem to
So
be
I'll-
that amount of people.
So I'll make a shout out to one of you that's in the lobby. If you could click on the small group collaboration and networking. The rest of us are here. We kind of want to know what your experience is over there. So click and join us.
Well, you're going to have to give them a minute because it looks like they're just sending an RTMP stream somewhere. It's a few
There is
seconds
some
behind.
delay. Yeah, there is some delay there.
Yeah.
Looks like the stream isn't working on YouTube.
Really?
It was like 5 seconds and then it's gone. It's a replay video.
But the lobby's not reflective of the number of people on YouTube. That's Zoom's side of it. That's pre-RTM.
Yeah.
Dean, there's a few people on YouTube who are like, I'm here, but we are streaming to YouTube. I just did that from like a testing standpoint.
Oh, I'm thinking PTZ Optics channel too. Silly me.
Yeah, the YouTube people, of course, can't, just speaking to them, you can't click to come into another session because you're a recipient only.
Oh, here's Tony. Hi, Tony.
Yeah, Tess, I've got the YouTube link up now, and yeah, you're right. It's about 10, 15 seconds delayed.
Yeah, they're like Facebook with almost a 20-second delay.
I forgot we were streaming to StreamGeeks. Duh.
Tony, did you
What?
join from the lobby, or am I just imagining that?
Well, I had the link, and I clicked on the first session, and it would not let me in and register. It just hung, and then I closed it out, and I went back and clicked on the second one of the 2 sessions. Now I'm here.
So when you said it hung, was it just black because there's nobody in
It just stayed white. It didn't even bring me in.
White. Okay.
Yeah, it was just waiting. I was just waiting for to be accepted. That's what it was waiting for, and it didn't accept me.
I think that's because we had ended that meeting, which is
Early.
not what we're gonna do. Yeah, I left the meeting and then it said who do you want to assign as the host because you're the host and you're leaving, and I just assigned Tess, but then Tess left, so I'm guessing that meeting got ended.
Yeah, it says session will begin soon, so it's not active.
So it just brought me into here and it says lobby up here. So I don't know how many more rooms you have because I don't see any breakout rooms at the bottom here.
It's kind of better than a breakout room in the sense that you're giving people a live preview of the room in the lobby. So it is nice in that sense, but I don't like how separate they are. I do like how breakout rooms are like part of a single experience where we can have a group experience with a round robin and a backup, a centralized place to be, and then the breakout rooms are within that, as opposed to trying to have a million tracks and expect everybody to get to the right place.
Yeah, because with the breakout rooms, when you end that, it takes you right back into the main, like we're in the lobby. So it would take us back here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it would take you to the lobby. I think it might take you, and again, here's a question for you, Tony. Are you watching this in the lobby or are you actually in the session?
It says lobby for me because I clicked on the link, and that's what got me in.
It does say lobby. I don't know why it says that.
Yeah.
Why does it say lobby? I don't understand why it would say that.
I don't see lobby anymore.
Maybe it should have said Larrabee. No, just kidding.
It looks like Alec just joined too. Alec, were you watching from the I was not allowed to get into the lobby. I was redirected into the current session.
See?
Yep. But what are you using, Tony, as your device?
Well, I'm on a PC, and I logged into my own Zoom account, and then it didn't accept my credentials, so it just says click to skip and join in the existing meeting. So it dumped me in this way.
I had the same issue. Try to get in, it wouldn't recognize the account I logged.
Because I typed in my email address and it didn't like that, so I just clicked on skip, and just join session. So that's what it did.
Mike has an interesting question. So one of the good things about Zoom events is it's trying to be like the whole platform, right? Like skip YouTube. You don't need to stream to YouTube. You don't need to record to YouTube. When you're done a Zoom event, each meeting is like posted for on-demand viewers. So that is nice. And these tracks, so that way you could go back and just like watch each session and look at each track the next day or the next year or the next whatever. Mike is asking, are you able to record the breakout rooms simultaneously and separately? And I won't know that until this meeting is over. I'm guessing probably no. But
I think yes, because as long as who's ever the host in there, they're the ones that make sure it's turned on and then shut off when you close it out. So that way it's recorded separately, but it's not under the whole main package.
Oh. Recording a breakout room or a track?
Yeah, breakout room.
Okay.
That will be interesting to see how Zoom Events handles that, but I really won't know because everything in a Zoom event is recorded. You don't even have to hit record. It's all recorded.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it all gets recorded and then it all gets posted as the post-event content. So we'll have to look back and see what gets posted because we spent most of the time in our last meeting in a breakout room.
Gosh, we're going to have a bunch of people with the lobby thing going on. Maybe we should include in our email a warning about like certain browsers or operating.
Well, I'm in Chrome, so that, you know.
You said that was a admin challenge, not a user challenge. I would be a fan, as somebody mentioned earlier, of just running a loop of instructions in the lobby telling you what to do. I wouldn't overcomplicate the invite emails.
Well, Dean, what if there was like, all right, so think about, let's say if we were talking about having 3 tracks, maybe there's a 4th. What if there was a track that was like the very first one, so it was like the default one that was just running with the instructions all the time?
I was just going to suggest that.
Yeah, a welcome and some
Good
instructions and the agenda and
Yeah,
you know, click.
that makes sense.
I don't know what everybody's screen looks like.
Well,
but click on one of the tracks to join.
Sorry, I just went back onto the YouTube live feed, and since we all were over in the Ephion room, it bumped over into that room on the live feed. If you look at YouTube at it says negative 2632 right now, you can see the Ephion room labeled there. So it's recording and going to some of those. Now I don't know what happened if we were in 5 different breakout rooms. How that would work.
Oh, are you saying,
No.
talking about
What's the default stream?
Yeah.
Paul, I'm going to need to jump off because I have yet another meeting to go to. I'm going to leave this one active. But I did want to mention one thing. I'm doing some work in a different context with Zoom that's interacting with them through their API.
Oh.
And that's just for standard meetings. I haven't looked to see if the API, what additional features are in there for events. But I will take a look, and if I learn anything, I'll share that back with you because that might give you some idea of how this is all structured together. And in particular, I'm thinking about the recordings because I know how to access that and how the hierarchy works would be interesting for events. So I'll be watching or not listening, but I'll connect back in maybe a half an hour or so.
Thanks, Dean.
You bet.
Appreciate it. All right, cool. Well, we made it pretty far. I mean, this is what I wanted to test. I mean, it all looks very doable. I don't feel intimidated or that we can't pull this off. There's some hiccups here and there, but I think it's stuff that we've gotten pretty comfortable with. Do you agree, Tess?
Hey, Paul, your YouTube live stream based off of your feed or off of Zoom? Because it's off of your feed because I'm seeing all your desktop, you're clicking around in the desktop and whatnot. So it followed you, not the program.
Yeah, so I have a screen capture just of everything on Zoom because I actually wanted to start that stream from the beginning, literally when I launched the Zoom event all the way till now. Just if anybody wants to see what a multi-track event looks like from the administrator perspective. It kind of started from the very beginning, and now here we are. And I'm pretty impressed. You know, I didn't even really realize that the lobby had the live preview. we had multiple sessions running at the same time, and then you could click between them. And
But
then at
there's
the
still
end
a
of the
global
day,
chat, which is nice. So I think, that Zoom lobby is honestly a pretty good consumption method for passive participants. So I don't think that you need YouTube unless you just feel like doing it.
yeah. And honestly, I don't think it's that expensive. I'm trying to remember. I think this Zoom events thing, yeah, it's only $99 a month. So, yeah, that's a little expensive, but that's not too bad.
Well, if you're selling tickets to events, you'll cover that easy. But
Yeah.
Now, I've been the past year working on a software called Avio. You've probably heard of that, Paul. That's from Sage Entertainment Group, and that's that's over $1,000, and but it's all inclusive, and it uses obviously Zoom as the foundation. But what its key difference is the fact that it addresses a special key for each email address. So you can't go and copy this and give it out to 15 people, because what happens is the first person that logs in, they get it and everybody else doesn't get in. So its strong point is security on that. And it has gamifications and all sorts of things. This is new for me because I was always doing Zoom, but I'm now entering into the virtual event scenario for 2022, and I've looked at everything, and they said we've talked a lot about Zoom events coming up and trying to do a lot of things, because Sage and Avio are a big partner, and the key thing is to make sure you get true 1080p, which we have commercial enterprise licenses, and we can do up to 1,000. I think they produce the Tony Robbins, where they get 30 to 60,000 people on Zoom events. Wow. And all at once. And make sure, like at the very top left, it'll say original sound off. Make sure you turn that on, because Zoom itself looks for the loudest feature to pop in. When you do original sound, then you can play music. You can have a live band, pump that in, and it won't interfere with everybody. So and that way you can mute all and unmute. Both of them have their pluses and minuses, but I really liked ours because we could develop a whole front end, a dashboard that people will come into and do a lot of things. And that's for people. There's a wide variety of events to do it, and Zoom is obviously the foundation. So everyone tries to bypass the check-in and the security level, and then we tell them, then why are you using Avio? You just go use Zoom. And they go, well, because I don't want 50 people to get that one link and come in and bombard my 12-person class. So that's new here, and like I said, when you had other rooms, I was trying to figure out how to get into the different ones, but it's working good, and I'm running YouTube, but it locked up on my other screen. I have 5 screens.
Well, I read that Zoom is really starting to move into that API world for growth, because their stock is slowing, and there's a bunch of reasons why, but it's becoming the back end for a lot of different applications. Did you see that Microsoft released like a lower cost version of Teams? It's like $4.99 or something. I think it's $4.99.
Skype upgrade.
Yeah. Anyway, it caused Zoom stock to drop a little bit, but I have no idea. I know that they're definitely trying to like dating apps or like things of that nature. Zoom is the back end for it in a lot of cases. But anyway, I really want to I want to tell everyone I appreciate you guys coming here to test with us today, because it was informative. We had another testing last week that got us to where we are today, and I'm feeling very confident about everything for next Wednesday.
It'd be interesting to see how many tracks you could set up. Like if you had the 12 breakout rooms with the sponsors, we had the general meet, and then they could go start up their own session underneath you there. That'd be kind of interesting to see.
Well, I'll do at least 4 tracks on Wednesday. So we'll have the round robin, We'll have the networking track. I'm just going to have a hallway track. Just, who knows? I think it could be useful. And then I'm going to have like an instructions track where it's like a welcome. Here's the agenda. You know, and it's just going to play a loop where it's just going to be like a video on loop. We'll have to figure out what computer we're going to do to pull that off, but it shouldn't be too hard. And that should be pretty good.
For anybody watching today, if you want Zoom access on Wednesday and you haven't gotten that ticket yet, we can give you a coupon code to get that for free.
Yeah, if you want, it's banana. So BANANA.
I didn't even see advertised, so I gotta go find that one.
That's via Eventbrite, and that's one other thing I guess I should mention to you guys. I'm gonna have to try to explain this to everyone. So we're using Eventbrite for the ticketing, and then everyone who is signed up through Eventbrite is going to get the link to the Zoom event. So there's a second registration process for that. We could have just used Zoom events, but we were kind of in between.
Are you going to send just the straight Zoom event to sponsors, Paul and Tess?
Yes, we haven't created it yet, just because we've been
no, it's all good. That's what I was like, pretty sure you probably haven't because I haven't seen it yet, but I'm just questioning.
You know, I'm planning to get it all because like even up until 5 minutes ago we were deciding how many tracks do we want to do, but I'm planning to get that done this afternoon, and I'll have it out to everybody by Monday.
All good.
Hey, I noticed Dean's talking, but he's muted at our end on the lobby. But on the YouTube, he's talking. So
he's on a second meeting, he said.
Oh.
Interesting. Anyway, I've got to run. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Tess.
Thanks
everyone. See you next week. Yeah, I think it looks good, though, Paul. I think it's moving in the right direction.
Thanks for all your testing and input.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Yep. I signed up for the November one. You guys moved it to December, so I've already paid my banana.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks, Don.
So,
thanks, Will. Thanks, Joe.
Thank y'all. If I get ready for next week.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys soon.
It'll be interesting next week.
Yeah, I can't wait to
All
see you
right.
guys.
You take care. Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Tess.
Bye, Tony. Bye, guys.